Well, good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful morning so far. I think today we're going to do an Ashtanga primary series, but I want to break down some of the more interesting postures. Well, really what it boils down to is that in many different ways when we're doing our yoga practice, we have maybe a tendency to think that there's a right way and a wrong way for the yoga, for how we do yoga, and that there's a 100%, there's the appropriate alignment, and then there's the not appropriate alignment, or the alignment that is incorrect and will cause injury. And sometimes that's the case. That definitely is often the case. And we want to make sure that we're always safe in postures, and that we're always trying to evolve our postures in such a way that over a period of time we can deepen the poses and do so in a very safe way. At the same time, in many ways, what we're doing when we do our yoga practice, what we're doing is we're becoming kind of hackers, right? And by hacker, I mean that what we're trying to kind of conceptualize as we practice is that we're kind of building different orientations and different kind of anatomical structures into in taking specific forms, and we're using our own specific body, our own specific arrangements inside our body. And so I have a different genetics, I have a different kind of a physical orientation. Life has been different to me in different ways, and so my body is going to respond to some cues more than other cues. And I think that there's a tendency to think that there's a right way and a wrong way in these yoga postures, in yoga in general. But really, yoga might be one of the first, or one of the original hacker sciences in a way. I'm probably the first person to say that. But what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to pay a deep attention to the process of finding our alignment. You're working with your genetics, and so when we look in terms of arrangements in the postures, generally what I cue, and this is what I learned from my teacher, Richard Freeman, that we're balancing different orientations. And so we're kind of thinking in terms of maybe it's an internal thigh rotation, and then we add an external rotation of the hips. Together, those two actions create the conditions for how we are going to work through our yoga postures, right? And so we want to think in terms of how can we maximize our time and our energy in the postures, and at the same time being very interested in how we kind of hack our alignment so that we can find depth in the postures to do so safely. In many ways, yoga is a way of hacking our body so that our body will stay young. At the same time, we're also using our alignment and our postures to kind of hack our body so that we can go move deeper into the postures, recognizing that if we're able to move deeper into some of these forms, into some of these postures, trusting the idea of what it means to have a yoga practice, it allows us to think about how do we deepen our practice, how do we deepen our postures, and at the same time, how do we kind of make sure that over a period of time we can continue to practice forever, right? And so we want to make sure that those are our focal points, so that those are our real ideas. And so thinking in terms of internally, get one action and then the opposing action together create a union. That togetherness creates the yoga pose. Because my muscular energy might be more developed in one way, maybe it makes more sense for me to think about it in one terms. Maybe if your muscular energy is built a different way, then maybe you're going to have to think about it in different terms. My goal is to give you all the information you need so that as you hack your yoga postures, you're able to do so in a really mindful and intelligent way. One thing that I notice is that when I'm teaching yoga, when I'm teaching to a physical classroom, that I'm trying to hack my students' alignment, right? When I'm taking the practice myself, or when I'm practicing, specifically when I'm giving audible cues, I am, in many ways, I'm hacking my own physical anatomy with the intention of creating with the intention of deepening my pose, and I'm kind of explaining to you what's going on. And so even though it might seem like there is like a set alignment. Think in terms of set actions that create that alignment, set engagements that create and cultivate that alignment. And so today I'm going to give some maybe some more in-depth instruction at some times, and at other times I might not give any any real intense instruction, just so that you can move through it, and also because I can't break down every posture in the series. And then lastly, thinking in terms of allowing your body's sensation to really come online, to be really important, the most important aspect of your practice. I think that we have a tendency to think of our external, how our body feels on an external sense, rather than thinking about how we can find micro movements within the body, micro openings within our body as a guidepost for finding a little bit more depth. Sometimes it's not about finding, one action or the other. It's about finding many different openings to create a broader opening. So in our spine, when we're moving into a posture, we might find that we can get a lot of back bend in the lower back, but then we'll have too much compression. And so in our upper back, maybe we can only find just a little bit more rotation in each of those spaces in between each of the vertebrae, continuing to maintain some extending out of it. But it's not about finding depth in one vertebra, it's about finding depth through that whole extension. All right, so that's where I'm going to go ahead and leave it. So let's go ahead and get ready to roll through our yoga practice. Go ahead and come to a seated posture at the front of the mat for a couple of moments. I like Vajrasana, heels drawn towards one another, knees drawn towards one another, and then setting up in a nice lifted posture. So let's go ahead and start there for a moment, just for mindfulness, and so I can make my transition. Oftentimes, it's the heat that we miss if we're used to practicing in a hot scenario. And so already right here, drop the front of the pubic bone down towards the floor so you feel your inner thighs drop down. Then tone the outsides of the hips. So tone the outsides of the hips and then take them towards the floor. So we have both of those rotations. We have an anterior tilt, drops the pubic bone down, and we have a posterior tilt, which really posts the tailbone towards the earth. Both of those actions create kind of a balancing structure. Yours is a little bit different than mine. And so we find those two orientations to help us, to guide us into a nice engaged lower abdomen. Thinking in terms of muscularly engaging the muscles right behind the pubic bone, lengthening out the spine. And then when the body requires heat, we squeeze muscular energy to start to generate that heat. We also deepen our breath in ujjayi breathing, so we have that audible breathing towards the back of the throat. Oftentimes I breathe extra loud in yoga so that when I'm teaching yoga classes, just so I can continue to remind you that we are breathing. And also at the same time, we count about 5 breaths. It's easy to sneak in 2 or 3 extras, but try to extend the breath for that full, so that every posture has those 5 inhales, 5 exhales. Tone the pelvic floor again, muscles behind the pubic bone. Draw back, engage, and then lift. Squeezing sits bones towards one another. Draw your inner thighs down. Find a balance between opposites. Feel the back of the skull opening. And then go ahead and come to the front of the mat in the standing posture, Samastihitihi. Hands come to heart center. Let's go ahead and do our invocation. We'll do it together, beginning and ending with an Om. Deep breath, inhale. Om. Vande Gurunam Chardanaravinde Sandar Shita Svatma Sukha Vabode Ni Shreyase Jangalikaya Mane Samsara Hala Hala Moha Shantiae Abahu Purushakaram Shan Kechikara Sidarinam Sahasra Shirsam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim So from here, samastihitihi, drop the pubic bone down towards the floor just to set the initial inner thigh rotation. Inner thighs draw back. Then post the tailbone towards the floor. Nice and strongly rooted. Press down through the heels, so the weight's in the heels, but then press your big toe mounds down so your thighs are nice and strong. Surya Namaskar. Inhale, arms come up, reach up to the sky. Exhale, folding at the waist, bend the knees as you need. Maybe that's your first hack of the day. Inhale, lift chin up off the chest. And then exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Maybe knees down, chin down, chest down. Inhale, roll the spine, open up the front of the body. And then exhale, hips towards the sky. Inner thighs drawn back, head of the thigh bone pressing into this. So we want to feel the thigh bone pressing into the hip socket a little bit, and then extend the legs long. Inner thighs back, outsides of the hips squeezing back and in. Charge the muscles around the joints, squeeze the muscles around the hips, muscles around the knees, muscles around the ankles, all within their own proportion. Same thing with the wrist. Hug the wrists. Make them strong, elbows, make them strong, shoulders, hug them in, underneath of the armpit, pressing down, lifting the upper armpit up, deep breath, inhale, finish out your exhale, pressing the breath out, step forward or float to the front, inhale, draw the heart open, knees can be bent, exhale, folding deeply forward, inhale, rising up, find the tail pressing into the earth, exhale, arms to the side, samastihitihi. Ekam. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Inner thighs back. Exhale, folding. As you fold forward, palms down to the floor. Bend the knees as you need. Hands can be out in front. Inhale, lift your chin. Throat is long. Back of the neck is long. Lift the chin. As you exhale, bring weight into the hands. Step back. High plank pose. Maybe lower down or knees down, chin down, chest down. Press the tailbone, roll the collarbones back, and then exhale, hips lift to the sky. So there's an element of a back bend here, but we don't want to collapse into the shoulders. We want to find a muscular engagement. As we inhale, we want to feel a hollowing of the abdomen so the belly button pulls in. As we exhale, pressing belly button towards the spine. And so we have that little back bending action here. Take the outsides of the armpits towards the floor. You can feel the outsides of the scapula hugging down. So your shoulder blade, the outside's hugging down. So there's space in between the shoulder blades. Press your hands into the floor. Take a deep breath. Inhale. Finish out the exhale. Look forward. Float or step to the front. Inhale. Pull the heart open. Exhale. Press your hands into the earth. Inhale. Knees can bend as you rise up. Exhale, arms to the side, samastihitihi. Ekam, inhale. And Dve, exhale, folding, hands down. Inhale, Trini. Lift the chin up off the chest, shift weight forward, exhale, Chaturanga. Maybe you float back or step. Up dog, inhale, pull the heart open. At the same time, see if you can send the outsides of the armpits, outsides of the ribs forward, lift the heart. Exhale, hips to the sky. Imagine maybe. So maybe your imagination is the most important hacker skill. And so sometimes it's hard to imagine our body in specific, or hard to put our body in specific forms. But if we can allow our imagination to be kind of up front It allows us to find those forms and watch our body from the inside working into those shapes. Inner thighs back, outside the hips, muscularly strong. Deep breath here. As you do, roll the heart open a little bit. As you exhale, press into the floor, bend the knees, look forward, float or step to the front. Inhale, lift chin from chest. Exhale, pulling back. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, arms to the side, samastiti. Inhale, ekam, arms up, look up. And exhale, dve, fold forward. Inhale, Trini, lift the heart. Exhale, Chapwadi, low push-up. Inhaling, roll the heart open. Exhale, hips towards the sky. Nice long legs, long arms. 1, 2, maybe thinking about lifting your toes and the mounds of the toes off the floor as you press your heels down. Legs are strong. One more breath. Inhale, lift the armpits. As you exhale, bend the knees, look forward, float or step. Inhale, pull the heart through. Exhale, press into the floor, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms to the side, samastiti. Ekam, inhale, arms up, reaching. Exhale, dve, folding forward, hands down. Inhale, lift chin. Bring some weight forward into the hands. As you exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling, long spine, hugging. And exhale, hips towards the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4. Press the breath. And then step or float. Lift the heart. Folding. Hand up. Samastiti. Ekam, inhale. And dve, exhale. Trini, inhale, lift chin. As you exhale, chaturanga. Up dog. Inhale. Pull the heart through. Down dog. Exhale. So we have that Tristana method, or those 3 points, kind of those 3 aspects or 3 focal points. The breath, muscular engagement in terms of bandhas, and then our drishti, our gaze, and those are like our primary hacker tools. 3, 4, pressing breath, bending knees, look forward, float or step to the front. Inhaling, lift chin up. Exhale, folding. Nava, inhale, rising up. Exhale, samastiti. Surya Namaskar, Utkatasana. Set deep, fingers brush the floor, arms up, inhale, ekam. And dve, fold forward, hands down. Inhale, Trini, lift chin from chest. Shift the weight forward, chaturanga dandasana. Up dog, inhale, look at the nose. Down dog. Exhale, lift the hips to the sky, right foot steps forward, back heel down. Inhaling, sapta, rise up, press the palms, left rib hugs to right. Exhale, hands down, chaturanga. Up dog, pull the heart through. Down dog, hips to the sky, left foot forward, right foot flat. Inhale, arms up, hug the right ribs in as you reach. Exhale, hands down, low push-up. Inhale, pull the heart through. Exhale, lift the hips to the sky. One. Two. Three. Four. Finish your exhale. Step or float forward. Inhale, Panchadasha. Exhale, Shodasha, fold. Utkatasana, tailbone towards the floor. Inhale, arms up. Samastihitihi. Ekam, Utkatasana, arms up. And exhale, Dve, fold forward, palms flat. Inhale, shift weight into the hands. Bend your elbows. And Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Right foot forward, left foot flat. Inhale, left rib cage hugs to right ribs. Exhale, hands down. Chaturanga. Nava. Inhale. Dasha. Exhale, left foot forward, back heel flat. Inhale. Ekadasha. Right ribs hug. And exhale, Dwadasha, low push up. Inhale, Trayurasha. Exhale, Chaturasha, hips to the sky. One. Two. Generating heat, muscular energy. Ujjayi breathing. Breathing with sound. 3. 4. Finish the exhale, bend the knees, step or float forward. Inhaling Panchadasha. Exhale, Shodasha. Bend the knees, Utkatasana. Samastihitihi. Ekam, Utkatasana. And Dve, fold. Trini, inhale. Chatwari, exhale. Pancha, lift the heart. Shot, hips to sky. Right foot forward. Sapta, inhale. Ashta, exhale, low push up. Nava, lifting the heart. Dasha, lifting the hips, left foot forward. Inhale, Ekadasha. And exhale, Dvadasha. Inhale, Trayurasha. And exhale, Chaturasha. Hips to sky. 1. 2. 3. 4. Press the breath. And 5. Float or step. Inhaling, Panchadasha. Heart expands. Exhale, Shodasha. Fold. Utkatasana. Fingers rush to the floor. Samastihitihi. Inhale, Ekam. Exhale, Dve. Trini, lift heart. Shift weight forward. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Right foot. Sapta. Inhale. Warrior 1. Ashta. Exhale. Nava. Dasha. Hips high. Left foot forward. Ekadasha. Inhale. Dvadasha. Exhale. Trigodasha. Inhale, back of the skull opens. Chaturasha. Exhale, hips high. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breath pressing. And 5 forward. Inhale. Exhale. Utkatasana. Inhale. Samastitihi. Exhale. One more. Ekam. Inhale. Look at thumbs. Dvay. Exhale. Fold. Trini. Inhale. Lift chin. Shift weight to hands. Chaturvati. Pancha. Inhale. Sharp. Exhale. Right foot forward. Sapta. Inhale. Ashta. Exhale. Inhale. Lift the heart. Exhale. Lift the hips. Maybe the most important hack of all is the softening of the roof of the mouth and a gentle smile. Exhale. One. 2. 3. 4. Finish your exhale. And 5 forward. Inhale, heart expands. Exhale, fold. Utkatasana, arms up. Samastitihi. Padangustasana, hands to your waist, feet apart. Inhale, lift the heart. Inner thighs back, tailbone drawn long. Exhale, folding, squeeze the outsides of the hips in. Grab your big toes, knees bending as needed. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Roll the heart open. Exhale, elbows wide. Maybe your legs are straight. Maybe, again, you hack the pose by bending the knees. Two. 3. 4. 5. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, folding. Padahastasana, hands underneath your feet. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, elbows wide. 1. 2. Lifting your inner thighs up to the sky. Lifting up out of the ankles. Lifting up out of the knees. Squeezing the head of the thigh bone into the hip a little bit. Internally rotate the thighs, externally rotate the hips, squeezing sitting bones together. And then 5, inhale, lift chin up off the chest. Exhale, hands to the waist. Peel the hips back, come up. Exhale, feet together, Samastihiti. Uttita Trikonasana, triangle posture. Right foot steps back. Rotate towards the back of the mat, left hip forward. And then as you move into the pose, peel the hip back. Right hand to big toe. A lot of times that causes a back bend here. So pubic bone back, and then take the tailbone further back. Left arm towards the sky. Right shoulder rotates forward and in a little bit. Left shoulder rotates back and around. Building balance between those two actions. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, coming up Trini. Rotate your feet. As you exhale, right hip pulling back, extending. Left hand down. Right inner thigh pulling back. And then press the outside of that heel into the floor. Left shoulder rotates across the midline a little bit. Right shoulder draws back, creating balance. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling up. Left arm's long. As you exhale, extend left arm, reaching through your little finger, left hand down to the floor, right arm up to the sky. Send the outside of the right hip back, inner left thigh drawn back as well. 2, left shoulder across, right shoulder back. 4, 5, look down. Inhale, windmill, bring it up. Right arm's long this time. As you exhale, cast the body long, reaching. Hand down, look up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhaling up. Exhale, Samastihiti, step or float it to the front. Utthita Parsva Konasana, extended side angle. Right foot steps way back this time. Bend your right knee, nice and deep. Right hand down to the floor, left arm long. Take your right inner thigh forward a little bit. Make sure that it doesn't track to the inside. And then keep rooting your back heel down to the floor, the outside of the foot. 3, 4, and then 5. Up on inhale, push your right leg strong and straight. As you exhale, bend to your left. Right arm long. It's easy for the left inner thigh to kind of drift back. So send the shin bone forward, plug the hip into the thigh into the hip socket, and reach. Both actions. Outside of the back heel, rooting into the floor. 3, 4, and then 5. Arms up, inhale, turn towards the back of the mat, revolved. You can take and bend the back knee a little bit and bring it down, or come up onto your back toes. Left arm is long. As you exhale, extending out, reach way out, drop your thumb, rotating into the pose. Left rib cage wraps across the midline, shoulder as well. Find your way in. Sometimes it's a negotiation. Every day's a little bit different. And then take your tailbone down a little bit, right sitting bone down as you reach. Press back through your heel. 3, 4, 5. Look down, inhale. Coming up, deep breath. Turn towards the front, maybe up onto your back toes. Maybe your back knee comes down. As you exhale, reaching out, drop the thumb, wrap the body across the thigh, shoulder as well. Hand down, left arm long, reaching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling up. Step to the front, Samastihiti. Prasarita Padottanasana. You'll step back to the right. I'm going to step back to the left just so that I can demonstrate appropriately. Inhale, roll the heart open. Exhale with strong legs, fold forward. Palms down on the floor. Pull the heart open for a moment. Walk your hands back. Exhale your head down. Gaze off the tip of the nose. So your hands are on the floor, pushing down. They're not just resting, they're not just there for support. Actively push hands down, lifting the hips up, press legs down. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, hands to the waist. Peel the hips back. Come up. Exhale. Elbows move back. Inhale, lift the heart for part B. Charge your legs. Exhale, folding. Keep the hands here. Lift up out of the inner ankle. So find the lift. Press down through the big toe mound. Outsides of the heels. 3, 4, 5. Inhaling up. Exhale. Arms out, inhale. Drop your thumbs, interlace your fingers. Little fingers might move away. Inhale, lean back a little bit. Exhale, lifting the inner ankles, inner knees as you fold forward. At the end of the fold, dropping the back of the skull and your wrists towards the floor. Shoulders rotate forward and in a little bit, so towards the space behind you. And then collarbones spread out. 3. Over a period of time, wrists might move to the floor. 4. And 5. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands slide back to the hips, elbows hug back. Inhale, lift the heart, expanding. Exhale, folding. Reach for your big toes. Squeeze your big toes with great energy, so thumbs included in the grip. Lift the heart open. Exhale, elbows wide. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale. And then exhale to the front, Samastihiti. Parshvottanasana, so take the arms out, drop the thumbs down, palms together behind the back. Fists will work, or opposite elbows if you have any sort of shoulder issue. Step a more, kind of a smaller step, about the length of your leg, towards the right. Rotate towards the back wall, or the back of the mat. Inhale, drop the tailbone, broaden the lower back. Exhale, folding, left rib cage wraps across. Front big toe pushing in, elongate the spine. 1, 2. Building an internal awareness in your body. Left inner thighs back, right outer hip hugs back. Big toe mound, right foot pressing down. Back outer heel pressing down. The inhale coming up. Rotate towards the front, extra breath. Root the tailbone, broaden the lower back. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold forward. Chin towards your front shin. Breathing. Wiggling your way down the thigh without lifting up your left sits bone too much. We want to keep pressing down into the floor with both of our legs. 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, coming on up. As you exhale, step to the front. Samastihiti. Utthita Parangustasana. Hands to your waist, elbows hugging back. And then from there, reaching forward, grab your right big toe. Inhale, extend the leg towards the front. Exhale, left rib cage wraps in as you hug in. Left hand stays at the hip. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale, opening to the side. Charge your legs strong. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, chin towards your front shin. Squeeze in. Inhale, pull the leg up. Stand up, push through your toes. 1. Try not to lean back, hug in, squeeze the hips in towards one another. 4 and 5. Release right foot down to the floor. Root your right leg, left leg comes up. Grab the big toe. Inhale, the leg extends. Exhale, left or right rib cage towards your left thigh. Squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale, opening. Charge the legs. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, stand up. Float the front foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Release the foot to the floor. Little shimmy, shimmy. Ardha Baddha Padamottanasana, bound lotus forward fold. So right foot's gonna come up into half lotus at the left thigh. So draw it up from the inside, grab the ankle and the shin, heel to heel, up to the hip crease. Right arm comes back, reach for your toes. When you're ready, left arm reaches up and then fold forward, hand down, other hand down as well. You can also just stay in that tree posture, pushing into the floor with your foot, with your hands. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your chin, slowly coming up. Exhale, releasing, right foot down. Left leg comes up, heel up to the hip crease, externally rotating your thigh. Left arm reaches back for your toes. Do your best. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Bend the knee a little if you need to. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release the foot to the floor. Often we're lightheaded there, so directly into Surya Namaskar. Exhale, folding, hands down. Lift the heart. Exhale, Chaturanga. Up dog. And then down dog. Hips to the sky, Utkatasana, float forward and set deep. Weight to the heels, shin bones forward, hug the tail down, arms up. Look up at the thumbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hands flat. And then I like to throw in that handstand or crow pose here. So crow pose, bend the knees, squeeze the shoulders, handstand, root the hands into the floor, pull the knees up. Maybe one leg lifts you up. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chaturanga. Up dog. Inhale. Down dog. Exhale, right foot steps forward, left foot flat, warrior 1. Left rib cage wraps across, reach up, hug your left ribs towards your right ribs. 2, 3, 4, 5. Up on your inhale, rotate, seal the back foot down, right rib squeeze towards left, reach up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Warrior 2, open up, adjust your feet as needed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up on inhale, rotate, exhale, warrior 2, shin bone forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Hands down, find your transition, step back or float, little push up dog, inhale, down dog, exhale, float forward, sit down, Dandasana, legs out in front. Palms pressed down, chin drawn towards your chest, but then pull the ears back. Chin will come up off the chest at that point. Hands pressed down. Coil the tailbone towards your heels. Lift your thoracic back bend up. 4, and then 5. Lift chin up. Exhale, reach for your big toes. Paschimottanasana. Lift the chin up. Exhale, folding, curling in a little bit, causes kind of a slouching effect. So lift the heart up, take the outside of your armpit forward and in, and pull the elbows wide. 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come up, reach to the outsides of the feet. Thumb on the big toe knuckle, peel the feet open. Inhale, lift your heart forward, and exhale, folding. Breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Part C. Inhale, look up. Exhale, reach to the outsides of your feet or interlace your fingers. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, hug in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your heart open. As you exhale, bring your hands back behind you, Purvottanasana. Press your heels down. Pubic bone drawn towards your toes. Tailbone drawn towards your heels. Lift your heart up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Hips come down to the floor. Vinyasa here. Cross your shins. Step back or float back. Chaturanga. Up dog. Pull the heart open. Down dog. Hips towards the sky. Float forward. Set down. Legs out in front. Nice. And then from here, bring right knee up towards your armpit. So Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. Bound lotus forward fold. Right leg opens up to the outside. Heel up to your hip crease. Right hand rotates back. Find your foot if you can. And then the left arm comes up. Inhale. And then exhale. Fold forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look up, lift your heart. As you exhale, releasing. And then from here, we're just going to lift up in between our postures and switch sides. So lifting up and switch sides. Left knee towards your armpit, and then feel the opening of the thigh. Heel can come up to the hip crease if it's available to you. All right, and then left hand reaches back for your toes. Feeling a little stiff in the hips, so I'm going to keep it on the floor. Right arm comes up, inhale, find the side of the foot. Lift the heart forward, elbow wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Find your vinyasa. Some people like to use bricks here for your lift. So lifting up. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog. Inhale. Down dog. Exhale. From there, we're going to take Tiranga Mukha Kapara Paschimottanasana. Look forward. Float forward, set down. And then take your right heel beside you. You can take and sit on a little bit of a brick or a little towel rolled up if you need to. Inhale, reaching forward, find your foot, and exhale, fold forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, releasing, crossing your ankles or straight leg. We'll just lift up. Release it down. Right leg's out in front this time. Left heel back. You can modify for your particular arrangement. Reaching forward. Find your front foot. Lengthen the heart. Lean it forward. Drishti's the toe. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale, releasing. Find your vinyasa. Lean weight forward. Lift up. Chaturanga to up dog, down dog. Janu Shirshasana, float forward and set down. Legs out in front. Pull your right knee up towards your armpit. Left leg straight out in front. Reach for your front foot. Deep breath, lift the heart open. Exhale, folding. Look at your toes. I always grab one wrist, and I have to constantly remind myself to grab both. Alternating. 3. Hopefully your mind is more nimble than that. 4, 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale, cross your ankles. Find your lift. Maybe you suspend and release down. Lots of opportunities there for lifting strength. Reach for your front foot. Inhaling, folding as you exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift your chin. Exhale, release. Vinyasa. Cross your shins. Maybe bring your hands forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, chaturanga to up dog. Down dog. Jani Shirshasana B, seated. Legs out in front. Then taking right heel in towards the groin. Lift up, sit on your heel. Toes could point out to the outside. Eventually we want them pointing more forward. Reach for your front foot. Inhale. Exhale, folding. 1. And try not to tuck your chin in. Lengthen long. 3. Simultaneously plug the left hip, the left thigh back into the hip, but push forward. 4. And then 5. Up on inhale. Exhale. Release. Find a lift here. Inhale. And exhale. Come down. Legs out in front. Left heel comes in this time. Lift up. Sit on your heel. Tone the pelvic floor. Find your front foot. Inhale. Heart expands. Exhale. Folding elbows wide. Away from one another. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Lift your heart open. Exhale, release. Vinyasa. Cross your shins. Plant your hands. Lift up. Inhale. Exhale. Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog. Expanding. The heart opens. Down dog. Hips towards the sky. Heart C. Float forward. Set down. This time, left leg's going to be out in front. Lift up your right foot. Rotate your toes towards the floor. So this posture, this practice always just kind of comes in these moments of realization. Lift your heart forward, find your front foot. So this posture, we always do the right side, then the left side. So squeeze your right heel in, hug the knee towards the earth in a gentle way. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Find a lift, so straight leg, or you can bend and lift. All right, and then pulling left heel in, reach underneath, find the rotation of the shin bone towards the floor, hug the tailbone towards the earth, foot comes down, maybe one day, maybe today. Inhale, reach your left leg, your left arm forward towards your front or both hands, and then breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Vinyasa. Cross the shins, plant the hands, float or step. Little push-up. Up dog. Expanding. Down dog. Hips high. Marichyasana A. Float forward and sit down. Legs out in front. Take your right heel, pull it back towards your armpit, and then take and bring weight into that posture. So you have a half sit, half squat. Lift the right arm up to the sky, reach way out in front. Take your thumb across the leg, drop the thumb so you can reach way back and find your other hand. Inhale, pull the heart open, and exhale, fold. Lengthen the spine out by pressing tailbone forward, but then lean way out in front. 3, 4, and then 5. Lift your chin up, exhale, releasing, find a lift, come up, release down, second side, bring your left heel back towards your hip, leg out in front, right leg out in front, left arm up, reach forward, drop your thumb, reach back, find your other hand, both palms ideally open behind you, reaching forward, lengthen the tailbone, but try to set your heart on your big toe so your left hip never comes down. Pull the knee back, rib cage through. 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale, releasing. Find your vinyasa. Maybe that's a step back and then knees down, chin down, chest down, tailbone down. Roll the heart. Exhale, hips high. Look forward, seated. Legs out in front. Part B, half lotus if you do half lotus. Heel up to the hip crease or at the sitting bone. Here, I always think it's like hanging out listening to tunes with my friends or something like that, right? So you can kind of find this action. Then take the right arm up, reach forward, drop your thumb, reach back, find your other hand. Fingertips can stay on the floor. What we don't want to be is dropped back. We want to be leaning forward. Fingertips on the floor, squeeze tricep in, hug, lean, and then let the head go. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your chin. Exhale, release. Find a lift. Inhale. Exhale, release down. This time, right heel in front of your sitting bone or up in that half lotus form. Bring your front knee down as much as it is able to. You can hug the knee in if you're in the half lotus for first time, or you can keep it on the floor. Left arm up, reach forward. Take the tricep in front of the shin, drop it back, reach for your bind, or keep your hands on the floor. Lean forward, hug tailbone down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale, releasing. Take your vinyasa, crossing your ankles, find your float, lift up. Exhale, chaturanga. Up dog, pull the heart open. Down dog. Lift the hips to the sky. Part C. Float forward, set down. Nice. And then from here, left leg stays straight. Bring your right knee in towards your armpit. And then this time it's going to be in just a little bit further. Right hand back. Draw the outside of the right hip forward a little bit. Tuck the tail under. Lift the left arm up. As you reach out, drop your thumb and find your left hand towards your hip. As you do, take left heel forward. Foot is strong. Then tuck the right hip forward just a little bit as well. Binding if you did already, awesome. If not, preparing. 3. Then there's always these counter rotations that can help you negotiate depth. For me right now, what's intriguing is right inner leg forward as I twist open. Squeeze the hips, the outer hips in just a little bit. 4, and then 5. Look forward, inhale, and then exhale, releasing. Just find a lift. Release down. Left heel comes back in a little bit more, not to the outside. Bring it in. Then right hand comes up. Send the outside of the left hip forward, inner left thigh, and then bring your hand towards your hip. You can bind if you bind. 1. Charging your front leg. You can press through the mound of the foot or flex the toes back. 3. So taking the inner left thigh forward, the outer left hip forward. 4, and then 5. Release forward, inhale, lift up, exhale, chaturanga dandasana, float back or step, up dog, lift the heart, down dog, lift the hips, seated, Marichyasana D. Left heel up at the hip crease or in front of your sitting bone, bringing your right ankle in, take your left hand, lift it up to the sky, hug in, exhale, drop your thumb, hand towards your hip, or if you have the mobility, reach forward, find the bind, inner right thigh forward, outside of the right hip forward, and twist. 1. So micro degrees, just enough, not any more than necessary. Right, so we don't get deeper in the posture by forcing, we get deeper into the posture by allowing ourselves the kind of the grace to move in incrementally over a period of time. And then 5, inhale, look forward, exhale, release, find your lift. Releasing, right heel, again it can come up into that half lotus form, it can stay on the floor in front of your sitting bone, left ankle comes in front, then taking right arm up to the sky, reach out, drop your thumb, coiling in, hand to the hip, or find a bind, left inner thigh forward, left outer hip forward, and twist. Look over the shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, look forward, inhale. Exhale, release. Take your vinyasa, hug the knees in, lift up. Exhale, chaturanga, dandasana, low push-up pose. Up dog, and down dog. Hips to the sky, navasana, boat pose. Float through, set down, legs up, arms lifting. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Cross your shins, lean forward, find your lift, lift up, and then legs up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. From here, let's take some variations. Take your knees to the outside, hug your triceps in and squeeze forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. Legs up, reach them up. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Same thing, variation of supine crow, or cross your ankles and bring yourself into full crow pose. 3, 4, and then 5. Bring it down, knees come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Either of those 3 different variations, or hands onto the floor. Bring your head down to the floor. Hug your armpits in, squeeze in. Tripod. 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Knees to chest. Roll through. Legs up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Any of those variations, or if you would like to, taking handstand. I'm going to do that tripod again. I'm going to pike it up about 10 times just because good core builder. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog, float forward, set down. Bring the heels together, Baddha Konasana. Press the heels in, maybe walk your fingers forward a little bit. Bricks can help to support the knees and allow you to push into something without going deeper than you really should. This is going to be our hack for today. You can take the full variation if you choose. I'm just going to work this variation. 2. We want to feel pubic bone and tailbone move forward. Then lift the kidneys, lengthen, draw the chin down. For those of you doing the traditional, maybe you move into it from here. Maybe you press deeper. One of my favorite, most interesting cues here is to take and try to push the knees away from one another using leg strength, hip strength. At the same time, hug the heels back in. So both patterns create the pose. 4, drop the pubic bone, press it forward, drop the tailbone, push it forward, and then 5. From here, grab your big toes, abbreviated series today. So take your toes, lift them up, Upavishtakanasana. Lift the chin up off the chest, so you want to feel that liftedness. Micro bend the elbows or bend them quite a lot. Lift the heart up. 3, 4, and then 5. Inhale, look forward. As you exhale, slowly roll onto your back. The slower you go, the more credit you get, as long as it's within the scope of your breathing. 1, 2, 3. Try to keep the weight out of the neck. It's like a shoulder rub, not a neck rub or back of the skull rub. 4, and then 5. Float up onto the hips, stick your landing. Inhale, lift the heart. As you exhale, slowly the heels come down to the floor. Holding. Inhale, look up. Exhale, cross your ankles, plant your hands, find your flow. Lift up. Chaturanga. Up dog. And down dog. Hips to the sky. float forward, set down. And then from here, taking your back down to the floor, lower back down, pubic bone forward, then tailbone, right leg comes up, reach up, left leg wants to bend, try to press it down, chin towards your upper shin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lay down. Exhale, open up to the side, gaze towards the left. Hip wants to come up. Press it down, inner thigh down, outside of hip hugs towards right hip. 3, 4, then 5. Look up, inhale, bring the leg up. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, lay down. Exhale, foot comes down. Left leg comes up on your next breath. Exhale, squeezing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Lay down, inhale, exhale, opening, push through the toe. So your right hip wants to come up, drop the right inner thigh down, squeeze the hips together towards one another. 3, 4, 5. Look up, inhale, exhale, chin to chin. Inhale, lay down, exhale, foot comes down to the floor. Hands by your ears, rock back towards your toes, touching, and then roll forward or back, chaturanga, or chakrasana to chaturanga. Pull the heart open, hips to the sky. Ubaya Padangustasana, float forward, set down. Slowly lay down to Tadagi Mudra. Legs are strong, belly presses down, lift the legs up, reach up, grab your big toes. So again, shoulders, get a little bit of a massage here. 1, 2, elongate through the legs, but try to keep the weight in the shoulders, find the balance. 4, and then 5, up onto your hips. Inhale, exhale, squeeze in, stick the landing. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, releasing. Exhale, cross your ankles, make your vinyasa. Float up and back, chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Find your down dog, and then from here, let's do some extra back bending work. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. Exhale, lower down slow. So we're in our abdomen here. We're going to take our hands and we're going to bring the tops of the hands onto the floor. Tops of the hand. Actually, let's do a cobra pose first. So hands underneath the shoulders. Drop the tops of the shoulders. Root the legs into the floor. And then inhale, come up. So more of a kind of a seal posture with a cobra attitude, right? And then take the outsides of your shoulder blades and squeeze them both forward and the tops of the shoulder blades apart. So squeezing forward. Lift the heart. Take the back of the skull towards the sky and then pull the ears back. Find that lift. 4 and then 5. Release to chaturanga. Up dog. Inhale. Down dog. Exhale. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Tops of the hands on the floor this time for Shalabhasana, locust posture. Root the pubic bone, then the tailbone, lifting the legs, lift the torso. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Hands under the shoulders, just like before, but the legs stay up. Collarbones back, outsides of the armpits, pressing forward. 4, and then 5. Chaturanga, up dog, down dog, plank pose. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Dhanurasana. From there, reach back, find the outsides of your feet. Squeeze shoulder blades. So the shoulder blades naturally squeeze together. Tops of the shoulder blades forward for a moment. Underneath the armpit, pressing forward as you come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Chaturanga to up dog, down dog. And then from there, float forward, set down. Bridge pose is your option. Modified bridge pose. You're pretty open, honestly. So if you're ready for full wheel pose, I encourage you to do it. If you're not sure if you're ready, you can come up onto the head, elbows hugging back. If you have neck issues, you can also just go straight up into it, or supported bridge pose. Walk your shoulders under, come into your bridge. From there, squeeze the inner outsides of the hips in a little bit. The glutes are engaged, hamstrings are engaged. Pull with your legs like you're trying to pull your shoulders forward. Hands by your ears, slide up to the top of the head. You can stay there or float your head just a little bit. If you're prepared to, push your thumbs into the floor, the tip of the thumbs into the floor, and lift. Pull the long body here. 2. Pull with the legs. See if you can bring more weight towards your feet as you lift your hips higher. 4 and 5. Come down. You can come all the way down or just to the head. Prepare for the second one, or maybe it's our last back bend here. So pick your posture and prepare. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want a little extra hit to the nervous system, bring your chin to your chest. Push more length into the arms and the legs. Chin towards chest. Then let the head lower down. 4 and 5. Release down. Lower down slow. Windshield wiper the legs a time or 2. Then a vinyasa. Hands by your ears. Lift the legs. Rock back towards shoulders. Chakrasana if you're up for it. Roll forward. Plant the hands. Vinyasa. Float forward. Flow through. And then flow forward and sit down. Paschimottanasana. So floating forward, setting down. Then from there, reaching forward, find your feet. So you can grab the outsides of the feet. You can bend the knee, looking for release in the lower back. All right, and then from there, if you choose to, legs are straight. This time, rather than keeping up or lift with the chest, let your back elongate. Feel the shoulder blades draw up and spin open. Four, 5, inhale, come up. Exhale, Tadagi Mudra. Lower down slow. So Tadagi Panda Mudra. Press your hands into the floor. 1. Your legs are strong. If you're not sure if your legs are strong, try to lift them up 1 inch. Lower back presses down, and keep your legs strong as you bring your heels back down. 4, 5. Shoulder stand if you're up for it. All right, so shoulder stand unless you need to modify. So sometimes I say if you're up for it, but really do the pose unless you have a good reason not to do the pose. You're the judge of whether or not your reason is a good reason. 4, 5, inhale, legs lift. Exhale, Halasana, plow pose. If you took Viparita Karani, then you can just bend the knees, come into a child's pose, or hold Viparita for another breath or 2. Wrist press down for that Halasana form. Lift the pubic bone up. Walk the shoulder blades in. 3, 4, and then 5. Karnipidasana, bend the knees. If you're up for it, you can squeeze your ears, or happy baby pose if you have any sort of limitations. Squeezing the ears. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the legs towards straight. Exhale, you can take your legs up for shoulder stand and then move into fish pose in lotus posture, or slowly lower your hips down. Roll your lower back onto the floor. Slide up to the top of the head, push your elbows into the floor. And then, so you're in that supported form. If you're not sure if you got it right, lift your head, look at your belly button, wrap the body back. 3, you can cup your glutes or your hamstrings. 4, 5, palms pressed together as you lift your legs high. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Release flat. And then inhale, reach the arms up, bring the hands by your ears, lift the legs up, rock back, and then forward, cross your ankles, move through your flow. Up dog, inhale, and then down dog. Exhale. From here, heads down. We'll only do about 10 breaths here just because of time. So bringing your elbows down to the floor. I really recommend that dolphin dog pose for you. It's hard, right? So sometimes I just like to talk about it while you guys get going into it. But today I'm going to take the dolphin dog and push the outsides of the shoulders in towards the floor. Head floats in this variation. Press your little fingers down in this variation. Wrap the triceps in. Let the head float. If you find you have more mobility at this point, walk your toes further forward. Push down through the heels. Same thing with the shoulders. Push into the mat. Head can be quite heavy and loose. Hips squeeze in towards one another. 3, 4, and then 5. Bring the knees down. So that was about 10 breaths if you're in headstand. Otherwise, you can hold a little longer if you choose. Ideally, headstand, we don't jump into headstand. So we want to find the muscular engagement so that we can eventually pike into it, which means the back of the legs have to open up quite a bit. But thinking in terms of allowing headstand to unfold for you rather than being something that you can accomplish or that you have to accomplish. And 5, on your next inhale, find your plank. As you exhale, low push-up pose, chaturanga. Up dog, inhale. Down dog. Exhale, Baddha Padmasana, seated. Foot forward and sit down. And taking lotus, half lotus, or Sukhasana, which is just a seated posture. Heel up to the hip crease. Shin bone rotates forward if you're doing your lotus or half lotus. And taking left hand back for toes, right hand back for toes. Grab opposite elbows. Inhale. As you exhale, fold forward, head towards the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come up, Padmasana. Bringing hands in Dhyana Mudra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift your chin. As you exhale, Utplahiti, so hands, maybe they're on bricks here, maybe you're able to lift up from the floor, push into the floor, lift your legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Releasing, we'll take a vinyasa to stand at the front of the mat. So step back or float back, chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Float to the front to stand. Lift your chin up, folding. Inhale, reverse swan dive, rising. Exhale, hands to heart center. can always come down to the shins if you need to, if you feel lightheaded for whatever reason. Let's go ahead and do our closing mantra. Take a nice deep breath. Swasti prajabhya pare palyantam naena margena mahen maheshaha go brahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Last vinyasa to Shavasana. Ekam arms up. Exhale, Dve, fold forward. Srini, inhale. Lift chin up off chest. Chatwari, exhale, low push-up pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, roll the heart open. Exhale, fold into down dog. Bend the knees, float forward or step forward and slowly lay onto your back for your resting posture. Give yourself 1, 2, 3 breaths, and then let yourself dissolve into the mat. So in a weird way, what we want to think about is our Ashtanga practice is our hack for our Shavasana practice, right? And allowing our breathing here to soften, to calm. I often talk about my favorite analogy. One of them is the shaking up of the snow globe. I'll sit snow cone to the globe, right? And so you're shaking it up, shaking it up, shaking it up. There's snow flying everywhere, and then we lay down on our back at the end of the practice. Everything dissolves. Everything slowly settles to the floor. So feel the energy, even using your imagination, and allow yourself all of the different energies inside the body to rest. We've burned a lot of the anxious energies out of the body, right, as we work through the practice, doubt, discomforts of different sorts. And then when we lay on our back, letting those more purified, rarefied energies to rest back towards the spine in just a very natural, normal way. So beautiful work, y'all. Wonderful practice. I'm going to leave you here for now. Let me know if you have any questions or comments or anything like that. Any engagement we can do is great. Again, stay here for a little while. I know we're a little long, but allow yourself this time to release. As always, it's truly an honor. I bow to you all. Namaste.